Hey everybody, I'm Dennis Pittsenbarger. We are here at the Las Vegas Convention Center at the 50th SEMA Show. And you know what I get to do? I get to come up on SEMA Central and interview some of the coolest people in the industry. And one of those people, once again, is up with me on the stage. The King, Richard Petty. How are you today, sir?
We're busy like everybody wants to see wandering around. They got trying to catch all this stuff, and there ain't no way. If everybody could leave, then I could take time to look and see what was going on.
I don't think that's going to happen.
That ain't going to happen.
You know what? Something that's really cool happening in your life is also happening in my mom's life, by the way. 80 years old. 80 years. Your 80th birthday's around the corner. What I got to know, Richard, is you don't look 80. You don't act 80. You don't get around like you're 80. You popped up here on the stage like you were going to do a long jump. What's keeping you so active and so in shape?
Cars. Okay. I've been messing around cars. When my dad started racing when I was 11 years old. So I've been around cars all my life. And, now that we started, Petty Garage, then I'm busy around cars other than race cars. So that's what's good about me coming to a show like this. But, I guess I'm like Satchel Paige. Don't look back. A lot will be gaining on you. So I think that's the way I am. But I'm just enthused every morning when I get up and, usually got something to do. And 90% of the stuff is somewhere around automobiles or, promotions of automobiles or working on them or, figuring out what we're doing wrong and, just having a big time with it.
I just figured it was from chasing grandkids around.
Well, that's part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we, fortunate enough, we had 4 kids and 12 grandkids, and I think we've got 5 or 6, I don't know, great-grandkids now. They're scattered everywhere. They're everywhere,
Well, let's talk about, now I know that there's a big celebration for that, like a 10-month-long birthday celebration, including some very special Mustangs incorporated into that. We're going to talk about the garage, too, and we haven't even got to Victory Junction, but talk about that celebration with those cars, because that is a pretty neat thing to celebrate and commemorate that.
Yeah, some of our PR people come up with this idea. I wasn't really looking that forward to 80 years, you know what I mean? But then when I get to thinking about it, look at all the people that never got to be this old. And, they said, okay, we're doing the Mustangs deal. I think we built special Mustangs for, the last 3 or 4 years. And they said, okay, got to be something a little different, something nobody's done before. So we're going to do the 80th anniversary, I guess, of Richard Petty, but then they're going to be done with Mustangs. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Like I say, we've done 3 or 4 different models so far and had good success with them. They seem to work real good, and we've got to have something a little bit different this coming year. So we're still trying to figure that out.
Well, Richard Petty, Petty Garage is involved with so many great cars. Now you guys are doing performance stuff with not just Mustangs, not just regular performance. I mean, people, when they obviously think of your name, everybody knows what we think of. But now it's accessories on Jeeps. It's building power on not just your traditional cars, but also on things like even off-road stuff.
Yeah, we're doing off-road deals. We're doing pickups. We're doing restorations on 1930 model cars on that. I guess they're just busy doing a little bit of everything. And that makes it exciting for me to be able to see the different stuff that goes on in the shop every day. Just build a Jeep over here that for SEMA, and it's going to be, I guess, auctioned off next year. And then aluminum from that process will go to Victory Junction Gang Camp. And so, we've just got a bunch of stuff going on, and I'm trying to keep up with it, but I guess that's what keeps me young.
That gives a perfect transition to talk about Victory Junction. We had some of the people up from your foundation up earlier on the stage. All of the great things that you've been able to enjoy in life, both ups and downs and so much success, it's got to feel good to give back. And Victory Junction, as colorful as your hat has always been over the decades, it is one of the best feathers in that cap, is giving back to children that need to experience what being a kid is about if they have things that aren't going their way in life.
Yeah, people that don't know anything about Victory Junction is camp for chronically and seriously ill kids that can't go to church camp or, YMCA camp or something like that. They're all handicapped, and so far I think we've seen like 25,000 kids that wouldn't get a chance to go to a camp, and it's all free. What we really do, Kyle, myself, and the Petty family, we got Petty Family Foundation, and we donate a bunch of money to it, but we raise our hand and say, okay, guys, this is what we're doing, and we've been fortunate. The drivers have helped us. The people that run the racetracks, NASCAR, the fans, have all sort of stood up and said, this is something that we think's worthwhile. And the basic deal was, we had a grandkid, Adam Petty, that got killed in a car wreck at a racetrack, and so we wanted to do something to honor him. And he had the idea before we lost him, and so it was one of those deals that it had to be done. And the race fraternity got behind it, and the fans got behind it, and still going along real strong. And like I say, SEMA now is helping us out. They've been helping us a little bit all along, and they decided that they'd buy a Jeep, and we reworked the whole thing. They worked on it probably a month, getting it all lined up to get out here, and then somewhere next spring or something they'll auction it off. And there's many different people that are doing things for it that really makes it work.
And that's what makes a difference. You will always have a legacy that goes with your family, starting with your father and your entire family, what they've given back. My last question is, when you think about SEMA in its 50th year, 50 years we've been coming here.
I've been coming 25.
you got me by a few. What does that 50 years mean to you as such an ambassador of our industry and motorsports in general?
Well, I just look at it as the SEMA has been a lost deal. In other words, there wasn't anything like this to begin with when SEMA started doing it. And everybody just sort of was trying to sell their own product. There wasn't anywhere where everybody could go see what the trend was, what's the latest, greatest stuff is for all the automotive enthusiasts. So once SEMA started this, it just kept growing and growing and growing. And anything that goes on a car or makes a car run or turn or whatever it is here at SEMA. And so if you're a customer or if you're a company, you go see what the competition is doing. So it's just a big almost like a tailgate party, okay? You know what I mean? And
I think SEMA, you know what? I think you might be onto something, Richard. I think if we did just dump some tailgates down and crack a keg of beer, this might be a little more fun.
Well, I think I've seen a few walking around, been doing that. But anyhow, it's just been a great deal for the automotive company because it gives me, with the Petty Garage and stuff, so many people didn't even know we was in that kind of business. Yeah. We can come, we can show our wares, what we're trying to sell and do, and then the first thing you know, we're in North Carolina. The first thing you know, you get people from Canada, or you get people from California or Texas, calling up and says, what you got and what can we do, and we're just one of the zillions of people that's here doing the same thing.
Well, and just even thinking of customers around the country, I've seen people here from Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Japan, China, all across this great world. And it's one of the things we talked about with Wade, the incoming chairman of the board, is let's make this industry global. And it'd be great to see number 43 all around the world, let alone just right.
Sounds good to me.
Last question before we let you go. Where do you see the legacy of Petty Garage and Performance going? Because we all know that you will always be the king. You will be remembered and commemorated for generations to come. Where'd you like to see Petty Garage be?
It's one of those kind of deals that the way we started the garage deal, we had always been in Level Cross, North Carolina, out in the country. And we moved our racing operation over to Mooresville, North Carolina. And had 4 or 5 of the guys that had been working for me for 15, 20, 30 years. They didn't want to make the drive every day. So I had a couple of 3 old race cars that we needed to refurbish and put in our museum. So the first thing you know, somebody comes by and wants a paint job. Somebody comes by and wants, the motor hopped up a little bit or wants bigger springs, or one thing led to another, and in the last 4 or 5 years we've quadrupled what we. And I don't think I ever started it in my mind to be even as big as what it is. But now that we got it started, we're working with Ford. We were doing a bunch of stuff with Chrysler. I guess there's a need out there because there's a lot of people that can't get to the right place or don't know, if this guy's legitimate or not. Hopefully, we're legitimate enough that people can come to us and we can give them a good job and make the wives mad and the guys happy. I guess maybe that's what it is.
Well, I've always said it's a lot of stuff that we don't need, but a bunch of stuff we want. And that's what you'll do. Build a bunch of cars. We don't really need a Petty Motorsports, or a Petty Garage Mustang, but we all want one.
That sounds good to me. Okay. No, but we just see that the automotive deal, it keeps changing. It gets more technical. The only thing I've been waiting. I'm getting old enough now that it's going to be hard for me to get my driver's license, so I'm waiting for a car that drives itself. Okay, and I can just get in the back seat and say, "Take me home," But that's going to be a long way off. But I tell you, even after that, Petty Garage will be modifying them dudes to do things that they wasn't designed to do. So that's the automotive company's going to do that.
That works for me. That works for me. Listen, everybody, put your hands together.
Thank
the
you,
one
guys.
and only
Everybody
Richard
have a good
Petty,
time. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much. From SEMA Garage, will be more after this.
Thank you.